Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Liam here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the KEFEYA 14-inch 1080p laptop screen extender. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Alright, this unit is designed to attach to your laptop using a unique clamp design to give you a nice, lightweight, dual screen setup. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what all we have in here. So we have our box, and we're going to go ahead and pull out this protective foam panel. And beneath that we have the extender screen with the padded sleeve. We have our documentation, and we have our cards. So, or our cables, I should say. Cards, yeah, right. Okay, so we have a USB-C to HDMI. We have a USB-A to C. And then we have a USB-C to C, which has a right angle connector on it. So let's go ahead and pull the laptop out of the actual sleeve here. A little bit of a tight fit, but we got her here. Now, you'll notice, and let me put this panel back on here, and maybe we'll go ahead and put the lid on too, just for giggles, so we can use this to set this on. We'll put those aside over there. All right, so as you can see, on the back side, we have this kickstand that flips up, and it can also rotate. So you could have portrait as well as landscape orientation. And if we flip it this way, it's going to be a little bit hard to see with the lighting. But over in here where the sticker is, you've got your power button. You've got a USB Type-C, port 1, USB Type-C port 2, and then a USB Type-C with power. And it's just going to depend on what your setup is. So you can attach this to your monitor and hook it up, and then you can have a dual screen setup. Now, if your monitor supports USB 3.0 with power through its USB-C ports, which some laptops do, then chances are you can run this laptop with just a single cable. If not, you'll probably have to use two cables using your USB-C and your USB-C to HDMI, depending on the type of laptop you have. Now, I know the MacBook Airs do not have an HDMI port, so in that case, you're definitely going to have to use both USB-Cs, one for power and one for video delivery. So that's the way it's going to work in a situation like that. So let's go ahead and unfold this thing here. We'll open her up, and this is our actual 14-inch screen here. We'll move this protective sleeve thing. And so we have our screen over here, and then this is our clamp mount system so that we can attach the screen right to the back side of your laptop's built-in monitor. And I'll show you what I mean here, just like so. So as you can see there, it expands, and then what you do is put it behind your laptop screen and let it clamp to the sides of your laptop screen. Now these are going to hug the laptop screen, and then these will sit on the top edge of your screen. So you've got it anchored all the way around, and these do flip shut when you close the screen so they don't damage the screen. So you don't have to worry about that. And then this allows it to, these allow it to rest on the top of your laptop screen to give you a better idea of how the setup is going to work. So I'm going to take a pause right here, and I'm going to grab a second laptop that I have, my MacBook Air, so I can show you exactly how it would attach to a laptop. Okay, so as you can see here, I've now got it attached to my MacBook Air, and I'm able to power it with just a single cable. So it works perfectly fine here. And as you can see, this is what I was talking about with the clamp mount. See, you just set it around the ends and the top, line it up, and bam, you've got it mounted. Now it's making my screen a little top-heavy. I leaned it back so you'd be able to see the picture because I have limited space here, so it's kind of hard to get the kind of presentation I'd like to be able to show you where you can see the screen straight on. I'll try to reposition things in a moment here and give you a straight on shot. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be hard to tell if it's going to work well or not, but we'll give it a try. But this gives you an idea how the screen works. Now, this display is 14 inches and it's 1080p at 60 hertz refresh rate. So this makes for a great second screen for your laptop. You can use it with a tablet, with your smartphone, with your Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, anything like that. It would even work with your Xbox and your PlayStation if you wanted to use it as a screen for that without worrying about the clamp mounting part. You could do all of that and have this as a gaming screen if you wanted to have a bigger screen when you're traveling for your Switch or Switch 2, either one. It would work great for absolutely either one of those. Not a problem whatsoever. So as you can see here, I've got a bit of a better shot for you here, looking straight at the dual screen setup with my MacBook Air. And as you can see, we get a good quality picture from this screen, using it as a second screen. Let me lower this a little bit, try to get a little bit more of the ring light out of the shot if I can here. There we go, that's a little bit better. And this way you can get a better idea of the picture quality, how it looks. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up like a YouTube video or something we can send over to it, just so you can check it out and see what the colors and everything look like, make it a little more practical for you to get a look at it and see how everything works. Let me get signed into YouTube here. Thought I already was on this laptop, but whatever. And let's see, we're gonna mute it. And let's see, let's go to my own channel so I don't get in trouble playing one of somebody else's videos. I don't want to get myself in trouble. So let's go ahead and play something like this. And we'll tell it to send this over to display 2. And there you have it. And I was trying to see if I could get to where I could, there we go, make it full screen. Let me get that there. There you go. So now you can see it. Yeah, we got to wait for the stupid commercial to end. I just got a dumb commercial playing. But anyways, but this gives you an idea of how good the colors are on this screen. And there's one of my recent YouTube videos I'm playing back for you there. So as you can see, the colors are really good. It's got good contrast to it. There's no pixelation going on. It's a nice, fluid, smooth video. So the monitor works fantastic to use for a second screen. Now, me personally, and I've mentioned this in other videos and on my podcast, I like to have a dual screen setup for my my full-time day job, which is an IT job, because I use one screen, the landscape one, I will use for Teams and Outlook and all that good stuff. And then this screen on this side, I would rotate to portrait, which you can with this when it's not mounted on your laptop. You can flip out the kickstand, rotate it, and have it in portrait mode, so that way on the portrait screen, I can access servers in the Linux CLI, which is command line interface, or I can use the portrait screen for writing code, because I prefer to be able to see as many lines of code or as many lines in the terminal at a time as I possibly can, just because it makes doing my day job work a heck of a lot easier, saves me a lot of time and a lot of aggravation having things divided up into 2 screens. But like I said, you can see here for yourself, the picture quality is excellent on this monitor. Now again, it is only 1080p, but that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, this thing's got a really reasonable price. It's $109 on Amazon. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out for yourself or pick one up if you'd like. But you can see that the colors and the contrast are fantastic. And at 60 hertz, it's giving us a nice, steady, smooth picture. It's not going to be as smooth at 120 hertz if you're scrolling long web pages super fast, you know, scrolling up and down, but that's common sense. Most people are perfectly fine using a 60 hertz display, especially for their computer or for their game system or something like that. Now, if you had a higher end game system, you might want a slightly higher refresh rate, but to be honest, for as good as the picture is on this thing and the price, you just can't beat it. I mean, this is an absolute fantastic deal at $109 for a 14-inch 1080p 60 hertz screen with fantastic color and good clarity, good contrast. I mean, you definitely can't complain about that. I'm getting excellent video quality, you know, playing back one of my YouTube videos on it, so you can see everything really nice and clear and sharp. And if you'd like, I can even move the camera in a little bit closer. That way you can get a little bit of a better idea there of the colors and everything. But I think you can get a pretty good idea from the way I've got it set right here with this camera on this monopod. So it gives you a great idea of how well this monitor works. Now again, this is portable. You can take it with you. You can power it with a power bank. It only requires 5 volts at, I believe, 2 amps. So a lot of your power banks can power a screen like this without any problem. So if you wanted to take this screen with you camping for a weekend or something like that, so you can play your Switch or Switch 2 when you're out in the woods, you know, because you want to be somewhat cut off from civilization, but you want to enjoy the peace and quiet, did a little bit of gaming in the evening before you go to bed or something like that, then you're good to go with a screen like this because it is super small, super lightweight. It only weighs 600 grams and it's only 4.5 millimeters thick. So very, very light, compact, and easy to carry with you. If you have a laptop backpack that's padded that you normally put your laptop in, your sleeve probably has enough room that when folded up, you could slip this in with your laptop in the same padded sleeve in your backpack and not have any problems whatsoever. Now, again, it's 1080p, which is 1920 at 1080 resolution at 60 hertz, of course. But as you can see, you get rich visuals, you get clear text, you get enhanced viewing for pretty much every angle. I mean, I haven't seen an angle where I don't get good viewing with it. The screen offers 300 nits of brightness with a 1000:1 contrast and 72% NTSC color coverage, providing you with bright, vivid colors and eye-friendly protection to prevent eye strain. And it offers your picture and, as you can see, the standard 16:9 aspect ratio. And with this, you can increase your productivity by 200% because you don't have to constantly switch back and forth on one screen from one application to another. You can have, you know, some applications on the left screen, some on the right screen, and you can have everything up at the same time, which makes it a lot faster, and you get a lot more work done that way. I always say work smarter, not harder. And with this, you can absolutely do that. And you've got everything you need for a comfortable day of work without taxing yourself too much, you know, flipping software constantly on a single screen. When I use Macs, I use multiple desktops. So I use a set of Stream Deck pedals on the floor, and I can flip my desktops just by pressing a pedal with my foot, so I can rotate back and forth. Because even with 2 screens, you know, being the right screen is portrait and it's doing my coding and stuff like that, this screen is usually the one that I'll have rotating, so I can switch between a full-size browser window when I'm into our ticketing system and rotate to the next desktop, and that's where my Outlook is. And I have my team set up so it's present on all desktops, so I don't have to worry about that. That's present at all times, so I have everything I need. And again, I can work smarter, not harder. Yeah, 14-inch 1080p 60 hertz portable monitor with a clamp mount that gives you a laptop screen extender. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to click subscribe and turn on notifications if you'd like to pick one of these up. I'll have an affiliate link down in the description for you. And until next time, I'll see you all later.